he started to really focus on the things that we were doing. His mom came and told me one day, he's working out at home. Well, I never asked him to do that. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And you got to understand, in my community, track was not a big deal. Baseball and softball were in the newspaper, and I had to beg the paper to carry track results. I had to practically come in and put them in the paper myself to be able to get them there. They just didn't care that much about it. Nobody came to our meets. His parents didn't come to our meets. His friends weren't on the track team. And yet, this guy is working really hard. I'm thinking, what's going on here? Well, the culmination of this story and why it stands out in my mind is that we were coming up to a dual meet one day. And if you've been in sports or been associated with sports like track or tennis or swimming or some of those where you have dual meets, you know that a dual meet, you don't really care if you win or not. You're really just interested in letting people try to improve their personal best. You want them to go out there, face competition from other people than their teammates, and see how they do. You kind of want to test them out, get a feel for what your team looks like, those kind of things. Well, this sophomore had not really, done very well during the season. I mean, he improved readily, but he still wasn't one of our best performers, and he was, he didn't get into the invitational meets. He wasn't one of the top performers to get in the invitational meets. And he came up to me at this dual meet, and he said, "Hey, Coach, I understand there's nobody in the 3,200 today." I said, "Yeah, that's right." And he said, "Put me in it." And I kind of laughed. I said, no, you need to go get ready for the shot put. And he said, "No, seriously, Coach." He said, "There's nobody in it. I haven't really got any points for the team. This is my chance. Put me in it." And I said, "Are you serious?" "Yeah." I said, "Do you know that's 8 laps around the track?" And he said, "Yeah, put me in it." And I want to tell you, absolutely, completely honest, he is the only person I ever saw finish the 3,200 with a smile on his face. Okay? But he ran every step of those 8 laps. I also say the people who remember that event are probably me and him and our opposing coach, because the whole track meet stopped while he was on the track because we couldn't do any more events. But he felt really good about that. He contributed something, and what stood out was he didn't want to run at all. And now he's running 8 laps around the track. What changed about him? His sense of respect for who he was and what he could do. And you know what? That changed in a few minutes each day. And that's why I went ahead and told the story. It changed in a few minutes each day because, you see, it transformed his perspective about who he was and what he could do. Those few moments transformed his perspective. And he started to do better in my English class too. He had generally been a C student and had felt like that was good enough. Once track season got going and he started to improve, his grades got better too. Not because I bugged him any different. It's because he started to believe that he could do it. He started to value himself and say, "You know what? I'm worth it." And isn't that what we want? Okay, you had a question.
My thing is, how do you balance with you being at school with those students and you are pumping them up with constant positive reinforcement and they go home? And I had a student earlier in the semester where, boy, by Wednesday we had him going strong. He was doing great. Friday he was pumped. He was doing wonderful. We got him back Monday, and it was just, we started all over again.
First question.
How do you balance?
Yeah. First question, how much of that can you control?
Just what's at school.
Okay, so that's what you do. You know, you have to hope that over time you'll make a difference. And you may never know if you did or not. I will tell another story. My wife and I were in Walmart one day, and one of my former students came up to me. I didn't even see her coming. She came up and she said, "Oh, Mr. Kestner, I really enjoyed your class. It made such a difference to me. You're a great teacher, blah, blah, blah." She went on. And she walked away, and my wife said, "Wow, it must have been one of your, really good students." And I said, "Well, she took the class twice." She failed. And the second time around, she didn't do great. She passed. But I made a difference for her. You know what? I didn't even see her coming. She could have walked away without ever saying anything to me. She felt the need to come and talk to me. That meant something to me. Too often, we don't get that. I don't know how many other students that I hope that I reached who never have said anything to me. And you'll never know either for most of your students. But you got to keep going, believing that you can do it. And you do have to hold them accountable. You know, one of the dangers that I get in doing this is I'm trying to counter the rewards and punishments. I have a classroom management system. I am strict like you would not believe. Okay? I have very high expectations. I have very clear guidelines, and I enforce them just like that. Okay? And my students come to know that's expected. But they get 2 messages at once. I don't let kids off the hook because I don't want to hurt their feelings. Okay? I want to help them to build up. Sometimes people take this message to mean, well, we can't discipline our students. And I don't want anybody to get that message. I feel like I have to say that so nobody gets the wrong idea. But combined with the traditional classroom management, folks, pick up a textbook from 1950 and pick up a textbook from today, and most of the classroom management techniques are exactly the same. Why? They work. They work for most of the students most of the time. What I'm talking about is when you have a challenge, when you have a student who's just down there, who just doesn't seem to respond, who just doesn't feel like they're going to come out of it, do some of this stuff. And you've got another strategy. I talked about a toolkit at the beginning, and I'm not trying to give you another tool. I'm trying to give you a new perspective on how to use the ones you already have. Think about how you structure your curriculum. How do you progress students through your curriculum? And how could you do that with respect? How could you do that with discipline? How could you do that with responsibility? Try some things. Okay? And if it doesn't seem applicable to your situation, email me and I'll show you why it is. Okay? Other questions? Thank you so much for your attention. I really enjoyed this up today.